Hello friends, I'm Vivek and I'm going to be your tutor. I'm going to teach you how to use Blender for the first time. So get ready and we just going to start. Now what you see is the Blender screen when you fire it up for the first time. There is a cube centered in 3D space, and the cube right now is in the object mode, as you can see here on the top. And while the cube is in the object mode, you cannot actually do the modeling process, and for the modeling process to take place, the cube has to be put into edit mode. But even before getting into edit mode, I will tell you some of the keyboard shortcuts that you can use while the cube is still in the object mode. You see, the red line here represents the x-axis, the green line here represents the y-axis, and of course from top to bottom is the z-axis. And let's talk of location. The shortcut for changing the location of any object in Blender is G. Combining with X, Y and Z. So if you talk about G, X, see what happens when I press G, X, move the cube. The cube moves only in the X direction. Now I press G, Y. The cube moves up and down in the Y direction as you move the mouse. Then G, Z, the cube moves in the Z direction, up and down. Okay, so this is about the location. Now if you have to get back the cube to the origin, you have to press Alt G and the cube goes back to the origin. See, we talked about location, GX, GY and GZ. Talk about rotation similarly, R in combination with X, Y and Z. RX, so the cube rotates in the X direction. Or Y, the cube rotates in the Y direction. Alt R to get back to the origin. RZ, the cube rotates. You rotate the cube in the Z direction. Then to get back to the origin, press Alt R. Removes the rotation. Okay, so we talked about location, we talked about rotation. Now to talk about scale, the same thing follows. S is for scale, SX is to scale up or scale down the cube in the X direction. SY to scale up or SY to scale down the cube in the Y direction. Similarly, SZ is to scale up, scale down the cube in the Z direction. So these are some of the things that you can do in the object mode while the cube is in the object mode. And this can be real fun, because even without getting into the edit mode, you could make a wonderful video of the cube, combining the location, the change of location, the change of rotation, and the change of scale. That we will look at that in our next video.